While retail investors celebrated a 260-point opening surge on the Sensex, institutional desks quietly began pricing in a severe geopolitical shockwave. At the exact moment the Nifty 50 crossed 80 points higher to track overnight gains on Wall Street, global crude oil prices surged as the Iran-US crisis escalated. This structural divergence creates an immediate conflict for capital allocators. On one side, we see strong domestic buying momentum, on the other, an impending import bill shock. Understanding how these two opposing forces interact is key to identifying where capital will rotate next. But that is only part of the story. To understand the resilience of the Indian market, we must analyze the structural architecture of the benchmark Nifty 50 index. Financial services and energy heavyweights make up a massive portion of this basket. When global sentiment turns positive, heavy index buying naturally lifts these core sectors. HDFC Bank, as a proxy for the financial system, and Reliance Industries, representing the heavy industrial sector, dictate the index's direction. Their operational stability is what keeps the market insulated during periods of global macro volatility. This matters because the mechanism of capital flow has fundamentally changed. Digital brokerages and modern transaction platforms, like HDFC Sky, have created a seamless pipeline for domestic retail and institutional capital. This steady stream of domestic inflows acts as a massive shock absorber for Indian equities. Even when foreign portfolio investors execute rapid capital rotation due to geopolitical fears, the domestic liquidity matrix remains exceptionally thick. This structural shift has changed how local equities respond to global energy shocks. Here's where the margin metrics become interesting. Looking at recent financial disclosures, banking majors like HDFC Bank have demonstrated stable net interest margins despite global tightening cycles. Credit growth remains highly resilient, driven by robust domestic consumption and infrastructure spending. However, the true test of this quarterly resilience lies in how well these institutions can protect their return on assets if wholesale funding costs rise. A persistent energy shock could force central banks to keep interest rates elevated, challenging near-term margin expansion plans. The next signal comes from the energy sector balance sheets. Upstream companies, including ONGC, stand to benefit immediately from rising crude oil prices as their realization per barrel increases. Conversely, downstream oil marketing companies face potential margin compression if retail prices are not adjusted. For conglomerates like Reliance Industries, which operate both upstream extraction and refining assets, the net impact is highly complex. Their ability to optimize gross refining margins during volatile periods determines whether their quarterly earnings beat or miss street expectations. Something important is happening here in terms of management capital allocation strategies. Corporate leadership teams at key financial institutions are signaling a shift toward risk-adjusted loan growth. Instead of chasing high-yield but risky retail assets, they are focusing on high-quality corporate credit. At the same time, massive investments in digital infrastructure are helping to lower their cost to serve. This strategic direction shows that management is prioritizing balance sheet strength over aggressive short-term expansion. That leads us to a bigger question regarding terminal risk in the energy sector. Management teams at companies like Reliance and ONGC are walking a fine line. They must allocate capital to traditional fossil fuels to capture current high prices, while simultaneously funding massive green energy transitions. Reliance management has reiterated their commitment to building world-class solar and hydrogen ecosystems. This dual-track strategy requires excellent execution, as any cash flow disruption from their core refining business could slow down these futuristic projects. Now look at how the broader sector is reacting to global macroeconomic cues. The initial jump in Indian equities was largely triggered by a strong performance on Wall Street. Moderate economic data from the United States has revived hopes for a soft landing and potential interest rate cuts by the Federal Reserve. This optimism usually supports global emerging markets. However, the positive momentum from global equities is hitting a wall, as rising energy costs threaten to disrupt the global disinflation narrative. The real test lies in the geopolitical arena, specifically the escalating tension between the United States and Iran. Because India imports over 80% of its crude oil requirements, any risk of supply disruption in the Strait of Hormuz immediately impacts our macroeconomic balance sheet. When crude oil prices rise, it puts pressure on the Indian rupee and threatens to widen the current account deficit. This dynamic explains why institutional traders remain cautious despite the positive opening numbers. That brings us directly to the systemic headwinds. If crude oil prices stay elevated for an extended period, the Reserve Bank of India may have limited room to cut interest rates. Prolonged high rates can increase the cost of capital for corporate India, which could slow down capital expenditure cycles. For banking institutions like HDFC Bank, this scenario could lead to compressed net interest margins and higher credit costs in their highly leveraged retail portfolios. This introduces a critical margin pressure point for manufacturing and consumer companies. Higher crude prices translate directly to increased costs for raw materials, packaging, and freight. Conglomerates like Reliance can buffer this through their integrated upstream assets, but pure-play manufacturing sectors do not have this luxury. If these businesses cannot pass these rising costs on to consumers, we will likely see margin compression across several consumer-facing sectors over the next 2 quarters. The market appears to be pricing in a different forward trajectory. Despite these headwinds, corporate earnings visibility remains solid, supported by structural tailwinds like domestic formalization and public capital spending. Currently, the Nifty 50 is trading near its historical averages, showing that valuations are reasonable rather than overly expensive. This suggests that while geopolitical issues might cause short-term volatility, the long-term investment thesis for Indian equities remains intact. Let's translate this into our tactical asset allocation framework. We are placing large-cap financials on a breakout watch, as their strong balance sheets should help them navigate any market volatility. At the same time, we suggest a trim consideration for sectors that are highly sensitive to crude prices and have stretched valuations. This balanced approach helps protect your portfolio from sudden global macro shifts while keeping you positioned to capture domestic structural growth. That brings us to our final strategic outlook. Navigating these diverging trends requires a disciplined, institutional approach to risk management. As we watch how global energy tensions unfold, our focus remains on companies with robust balance sheets, strong pricing power, and clear capital allocation strategies. To stay ahead of these structural shifts, make sure to subscribe to SR Money News IN and turn on notifications. Share your thoughts in the comments below. How are you positioning your portfolio to handle this latest crude oil surge? Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next analysis.